Aurora, Ohio, like many small towns across the state, loves their high school football on Friday nights. The quaint town of just over 15,000, located in Portage County 30 miles east of Cleveland, celebrated its first football state championship in 2008. The Aurora Green Men have been perennial playoff contenders ever since. With all of Aurora's football victories and celebrations, there was no greater sense of community support than what Aurora endured 1 year ago, Thanksgiving Day, in the wake of a tragic loss. On the eve of Aurora's state semifinal football game, sophomore Paulie McGhee was killed in a one-car accident on his way home from a friend's house.
He had practice that morning and was excited because it was the playoff game. Went to practice, came home, showered, and had been invited to a friend's house for a brunch and was excited to go and, help me stuff the turkey and, said, "I love you" on the way out the door. I said, "I love you too," grabbed his coat and went on his way. And we weren't having dinner till later, so we were just kind of all fiddling around the house, and doorbell rang, and it was Jeff Begara, the police officer.
Really didn't even think anything of it until he said, "Hey, can I talk to you and your wife outside a second?" Went out there, and he started asking me about my parents' car, which had a Florida license plate on it that Paulie drove. And then he basically let the words out while her and I were both standing there that that car was involved in a fatal accident. And as soon as I heard that, I basically slumped down onto the concrete because I knew, I don't know why, but I knew right then that it was him.
I don't think it hit me right away. I don't know why, I just didn't think, it didn't even occur to me that it would be him. So I just kept calling and texting and calling and texting and leaving messages, and I don't even know how long went by, but then all of a sudden a car pulled up in the driveway. A good friend of ours is a paramedic for Aurora and came in and told Jeff that it had been confirmed it was Paulie.
Immediately, word spread through the Aurora community about Paulie McGee's fatal accident. Soon, the McGee house was filled with grieving family, friends, and Paulie's devastated teammates.
Just the right thing felt to let everyone come, because who else? We needed comfort. And that's what they did. They came. They all came. The team came. Our friends came. Acquaintances came. People that we had maybe met once or twice came. They left their families to be with us, to help comfort us. That's just truly amazing.
Soon, the question would have to be asked, then answered. Would Aurora play their football game, now less than 24 hours away? It was Aurora head football coach Bob Mahalick's grim task to ask that question.
We decided to have a meeting as a team up here at the high school, and actually the main thing we wanted to vote on whether or not we should go on and play or not, and the McGees wanted us to.
So it was decided that Thursday evening, the game must go on.
Just a little more than 24 hours ago, while many of us were settling into our Thanksgiving Day dinner, the Aurora football team learned of the tragic news that sophomore offensive lineman Paul McGee, known simply as Paulie to his teammates, died in a one-car accident yesterday at 1:30 in the afternoon.
The turnout was tremendous on the Aurora side. Talk about what that meant to you, because I think a lot of people that went there for Paulie, right, and it was almost a vigil at the football game.
Right. I think everybody needed that to be together, and we all know everybody pulled as hard as they could. I mean, for that to happen, and it would have, maybe been a neater headline, I guess, if they would have won that game. But just for everybody in this town to get together and go over there and still hold it together.
It's complete. His 5th touchdown pass of the night, on the money to Matt Eckhart.
It was a surreal kind of game. The kids tried to do the best they could, but most of them hadn't slept much the night before, so we weren't in shape mentally or physically to handle what we did. But I was proud how our kids gave everything they had on a night where we really had no chance to win.
Hi, how are you? Hi!
Today, the McGee family, Chris, Paul, and their 3 kids, attend all the Aurora football games, home and away.
Yeah, same spot.
What's it like going to the varsity games now when you go out there?
You know, it was that first game. The special games were tough, but you know, it's been because all those boys are like our boys. I mean, as tough as it was, you know, it's still exciting to see it.
We couldn't not go. We just couldn't not go. It would hurt more to hear what his best friends were doing and what our friends were there to support us. They've been there every step of the way. It's just, we had to go.
Paulie McGee will always be remembered for his lighthearted spirit and sense of humor. Even in his premature passing, Paulie still brings a smile to everyone who knew him.
When we think of him now, we no longer think of him with tears in our eyes streaming down our face, but with a smile on our face, because that's what he would want. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that.
He lived, like I've said 100 times to people, for 16 years. Everybody wanted to be him. I wanted to be him. I mean, he just lived a lot of years in 16 years.
The McGees, with the help of others, have raised money that provides scholarships for Aurora High School students, and already 4 students from the class of 2012 have benefited from Polly's memory. They're hoping to raise $57,000 to continue the scholarship drive.
Now, well, we saw Chris and Paul McGee, the parents, but what about Polly's siblings?
Well, he has an older sister that's a sophomore at the University of Toledo. He also has a younger brother in the 6th grade playing football, and an even younger sister that's a cheerleader right now for the youth football program. So it's safe to say the McGees will be there watching football in Aurora for many more years.
Well, what an inspiring story. Thanks, Will.